Hey lovelies! So I think it's pretty safe to say that Thanksgiving is the most delicious day of the year. But the question of what to do with that leftover turkey continues to confound us annually. So today I've created 3 tasty turkey recipes that will help you use up those leftovers lickety-split. We're kicking things off with a classic comfort food that I simply can't get enough of in the cooler fall months. We are going to be making a turkey pot pie. And the way I make it, it is a lot easier than you might think to put together. For this recipe, like so many of my recipes, I'm going to get started by melting some butter over medium-high heat in a nice big skillet on the stove. To that, I'm going to add some finely diced onion and some celery. I'm going to let these cook up for maybe 4 to 5 minutes or until the onions start to soften and become nice and translucent. Next, I'm going to build in even more flavor with some minced garlic, some fresh thyme leaves, and some finely chopped sage. Now at this point, the best part is going to be that your house is going to smell like stuffing all over again. So there's not much to complain about there. We're going to let all of that yumminess heat up for 30 seconds or so before getting our turkey into the skillet. As you can see, I've got it into some nice big cubes. You could shred it if you wanted to, but I always like a nice big bite of turkey in a turkey pot pie. I am also adding some frozen vegetables because nobody needs to be a hero. I'm sure you've already done enough cooking if you have Thanksgiving leftovers happening. I'm going to toss all that goodness together until it's well combined, and then I'm going to stir in a few tablespoons of flour. This is going to help us create a nice, thick, creamy sauce for our turkey pot pie. Once that flour has had a chance to heat up for about a minute or so, you can go ahead and add your chicken broth into your skillet as well as some milk. As all of that yumminess is heating up, it's also going to thicken up. So what you're going to end up with is this rich, creamy turkey pot pie filling that is oh so good and could only be made better by seasoning it with a little salt and pepper, as we do. This is looking so good. It's simmery and bubbly and so tasty looking. You always have the option to pour all of this goodness into a store-bought deep dish pie crust, but I like to keep my pot pies nice and simple. I'm basically going to just pour this mixture into a baking dish and top it with a sheet of puff pastry. Now you can usually find this in the freezer section at your grocery store. It's really important that you cut a few slits in the top of your puff pastry to make sure that that steam can escape so that your pastry can puff up properly. Then to get it extra golden on top, I'm just going to brush on a little bit of egg wash, which is really just 1 egg beaten, and I'm going to use a pastry brush to get it all over the top. And then into the oven this guy goes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for let's say 20 to 25 minutes. What you're looking for is for that puff pastry to be nice and golden, and you'll see that turkey pot pie filling sort of bubbling and oozing around the sides. I would argue that this amazing dish is nearly as satisfying as your Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, except for the fact that it doesn't come with stuffing. Everything should come with stuffing. Next, for something a little more on the lighter side, we are making a really beautiful turkey cranberry brie salad. Now, I'm sure we all know that holiday calories don't count, but if you did overindulge a little on Thanksgiving, maybe a salad is a good way to go the next day. This salad starts with an amazing cranberry balsamic vinaigrette. Now to make this, you are basically just going to mix some cranberry sauce with a couple splashes of balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, and some salt and pepper. Obviously, you can go ahead and use store-bought cranberry sauce if you want to, but if you want to make your own, I, of course, have a recipe for that. You can take a look at the video once you're done watching this tastiness. I'm going to whisk that together and set it aside while I get to work on my kale. The only way I personally really enjoy kale is if it's very finely chopped and if it's massaged with a little bit of oil. The best way to massage kale is with your hands. So I'm basically just going to get in here and sort of give it a good rub down until it is nice and soft and pliable. So our kale has been massaged. It is feeling very, very happy and relaxed. We are going to transfer this into our serving dish and then construct the rest of our salad. I am going to add some sliced brie. If you're not a brie fan, goat cheese would work really well in this recipe as well. Once you've got your brie arranged, you can go ahead and pile on your turkey. Then I'm going to top this all with my cranberry balsamic vinaigrette, some dried cranberries, and then for a little bit of crunch, I am also going to add some slivered almonds to this. How amazing does this salad look? And you guys know I'm not the hugest fan of salads, but this one is a winner. Don't believe me? Taste it for yourself. Finally today, we are going to be making a turkey and Swiss quiche. Now you guys might know by now that quiche is one of my all-time favorite foods. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I don't discriminate. I could have quiche any time of day. So I'm starting with a pre-made pie crust in a tart pan, like so. I just pressed it into the edges. I love this tart pan because it's got a removable bottom, so it makes the quiche really easy to remove once it's done baking. Now that my crust is prepared, I can start to pile in my filling. So first up, I of course have my leftover turkey that I have finely chopped. Next, I'm going to add some chopped green onion and a whole lot of shredded Gruyere cheese, which is a nice strong Swiss cheese. I love the combination of turkey and Swiss, always really, really tasty. Now I'm just going to reserve a little bit of my cheese for later, and then I'm going to turn my attention to my egg mixture. Making your quiche filling couldn't be simpler. You're basically going to beat some eggs with a little bit of cream and a little bit of milk. If you want a super rich quiche, you can go ahead and add all cream, but I like to keep things on the lighter side by adding half and half. We are also going to season this up with some salt, some pepper, and the secret ingredient in any good quiche, a good sprinkle of nutmeg. I'm using freshly grated nutmeg in this recipe to show my quiche how much I care, but if you had just some ground nutmeg on hand, that would absolutely work as well. I'm going to get in here with a whisk and whisk it all together until it's nice and smooth. Then I'm going to pour it into my pie crust. For the final step, I am just going to top this with my remaining shredded cheese, just to give it a bit of a nice golden sort of cheesy crust on top. And then we are going to get it into a preheated oven at 375 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes, or just until that egg mixture has set. And oh my goodness, this quiche is going to change the way you look at leftovers pretty much forever. All right, folks, I hope you will give all of these tasty ideas a try. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo, because I always love seeing your kitchen creations. Keep in mind that all of these recipes are available in the description box below, and if you're looking for more Thanksgiving inspiration, I have a ton of it on the channel, so you can go ahead and take a look at my Thanksgiving playlist. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from. Happy Thanksgiving! I am thankful for you.